shite. I'll be back. I'll be back in a sec. Hold up. Hello there guys, and welcome back to once again another live stream here on Speed Force, well, on the Speed Force Racing YouTube channel. Today we're going to be having a beautiful race around the Hungarian Grand Prix, or also known as the Hungaroring. Today it'll be season 16, round 4 of the Speed Force Racing League 16th season. Of course, we've got many people in the lobby today. It's going to be my first race here for Speed Force Racing, but hopefully it's going to be a big banger. We've got a couple of guys out on track already. Yes, we might want to focus on Mr. Mo. Oh, Jesus. I'm just going to call it Mo. Here comes Mo heading into turn 1. Hard braking zone. A long right-hander into turn 1. Very tricky, as you want to get onto the power as soon as possible. Down the straight he goes, and then into turn 2, which is a long left-hander. Sector 1, not too difficult of a sector. And then we're heading into turn 3, which is a fast right-hander, of course. Here comes Mr. Mo in the McLaren. And it doesn't seem like he's on a fast one, so we might want to focus on someone else. Maybe going on board with the AlphaTauri driver. Well, the AlphaTauri is not really AlphaTauri anymore. Alex Hawk in the Red Bull Visa Cash App. Heading into turn 14, which is the last turn here around Hungary. And here he comes down the straight. You really need to have a good straight line speed to be able to make an overtake here, because it's not a very long straight around Hungary. The overtake opportunities are also very slim, so you have to take your chances whenever you can, and I think we will be seeing a couple of overtakes down the straight if someone is running lower wings, if someone is using the DRS, ERS, you never know. So Alex Hawk puts himself in P4 at the moment, and as you can see on the right side, Mr. OWR Thrandir has put the fastest first sector and the fastest second sector. So the OWR oh no way, this is bad. We've got two Haas drivers being OWR. So, oh no, this is bad. As you can see on the left side there, both drivers currently in P1 and P2. So I'm never gonna know who is who. So it'll always be a guess, unfortunately. We might want to go on board with someone else on track here. I'm not going to show this guy because he doesn't have his telemetry enabled. That is, of course, something that I hammer on. Pretty harsh. Sonic Hawk, currently in P11. He isn't going to come out on track because we've got 4 drivers, I think, who aren't supposed to be here in Division 3. But as there weren't too many people signed up for this race, it'll be most likely that it's because it's Hungary, of course, but here comes Billy on a fast lap, I believe. 1:16.9 is his best time, and the fast lap around this track at the moment is 1:15.5 set by Thrandir. And Alex Hawk managed to get the fastest third sector here around Hungary, which is at 21.5. Not too bad. Billy seems to be 1.3 seconds off Thrandir's time. And the Alpine driver, I think that must be the V car, if I'm not mistaken. It is indeed the V car. Has put another time on the board with a it doesn't show. A 1:16.1, 6 tenths away from a P1, which is of course Thrandir in the Haas. Somebody is going to the side there. That is the V-Car's teammate as he puts himself on the racing line right now. That might have caused a collision. The V-Car with the fastest first sector at the moment. Heading into turn 5, long right-hander, and then you've got that famous chicane here around Hungary. Into turn 8, he goes fast left-hander. Then we've got another fast right-hander. And then another fast left-hander and a fast right-hander right behind it. You really need to have a lot of downforce here to be able to make something work. No, not a lot of downforce. You need to have a lot of wings to make that work, of course. Here comes the V-car. Might be up for the fastest lap here in this session at the moment. He's got a kick Sauber right in front of him. Goes back onto the racing line into turn 14. Beautiful line there from the Alpine driver. I think he has put in some good practice. And he puts himself only 1.4 tenths away from Trundier. So not too bad of a time. And the kick Sauber behind him is on a lap. I think he almost impeded. Impeded the kick Sauber's time. And kick Sauber driver is OWR. Let me just have a quick look. That is going to be Halvor. So another OWR driver here in Division 3. I think we've got a lot of Norwegian guys because OWR is a Norwegian league or esports team. I can tell you for sure. But we've got plenty of guys here in this league who are Norwegian and with the OWR team. Here comes Halvor heading into turn 9. You need to take a lot of curb there on the exit to be able to make a good, exit, of course. Turn 11, beautifully done by Halvor. He's up on his own time in both sectors. He was about 1 second slower than Trandir, but I think a 17.8. If you can improve by 1 second with that, you will be golden. You will be somewhere around the top 7 here. Let's go Halvor coming around the last corner. It'll be a 116.9. Not a bad time from the kick Sauber driver at all. Maybe Mr. Wiggles is on a fast lap. It doesn't look like it. Yellow flags. No, it does look like it. He did improve, but not by too much. 1.2 seconds slower than Trandir still. Let's go on board with Doran here. It seems like it's SFR versus OWR here in Speed Force Racing, which is quite funny. Oh, and the Red Bull driver goes too much onto the curb. Almost loses the car there, heading into turn 7. And that is, of course, Doran, a very famous face here around SFR. I think he's one of the... is he one of the admins? I couldn't tell you for sure. But I've seen his face around Div 2 for a long time last season in Season 15. Speed Force Racing, of course, had only 2 division last season. This season they switched to 3 divisions, and hopefully that's going to pay off for these guys. As things are looking like right now, many of the Division 3 drivers have, marked attendance. They just couldn't attend, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean these guys don't have a filled grid. They do indeed have a filled grid, so all spots have been filled already. And here comes Mr. Wiggles heading into the last turn. He will come into the pits, of course, because his last time was a fast lap. And Billy G at the moment in that Red Bull car. SFR Doran and Billy G in the same lap is actually, in the same team is actually not too bad for Red Bull right there. Let me just double check on Discord. Guys, if you want to say something, please do so on Discord, because I'll be checking out Discord every now and then if you guys want to say something. Billy G having the fastest second sector, 26.7 right now. The V-car had put the fastest first sector, which we saw before. Here comes Billy G around the last corner. Ooh, takes a weird line coming out of turn 14 there. 3 tenths away from Trandir, so not bad at all. The Red Bull team is doing a good job. Billy G, the faster driver out of the 2. And the rest of the guys are still in the pit lane, so I think everyone is patiently waiting to come out again. 6 more minutes here in Hungary. I'm just going to switch over to OBS real quick to see if there's been any messages. But that means that the screen is going to lag a little bit, so my apologies for that. All right. It seems to be all good. Oh, my apologies. Yep, there we go. So apparently there is this one. She wasn't on that lap, if I'm not mistaken. Is she on another one? I don't think so. She came into the pits. Why is she not showing on track? I couldn't tell you for sure. I think she's coming out right now. So we're going to have a look at her later. As Doran has come out again. Many other drivers have come out on track. Mo being one of them. As the McLaren driver had put a 1:16.5 on the soft tires. Everyone is currently on the soft tires, of course. There's no point in switching over to the medium tires, as those tires are a little bit slower than the soft tires. Well, I could tell you it's more than half a second that these guys are going to lose on a different tire compound. So it's not suggested to do so. Both the Haas drivers still holding up strong in P1 and P2. The V-car has been pushed back to P3. And Sonic Hawk retired from the session. That is in the pit lane, of course. And we've got another McLaren driver. I'm not 100% sure who that is. This driver should change his telemetry, but I couldn't tell you for sure who that is. Here comes Alex Hawk with the fastest third sector, 21.5 at the moment. And I saw this last night as well. You've got Thrandir, who has the fastest lap, but he doesn't have any of the fastest sectors, so that usually indicates that he has a more consistent lap and a more consistent setup that will gain you pace everywhere, but will not gain you the most pace over the whole track, over a whole sector. My apologies. We're gonna have a look at Simo. I remember saying that, and yes, indeed we do. Heading into turn 2, it's gonna be a fast lap for the Ferrari driver at the moment. Heading into turn 3, fast right-hander, beautifully done. Doesn't take too much curb on the exit there. It might have been a little mistake, but I heard this game is not great when taking curbs, so you can spin any time. Heading into turn 5, beautifully done by Simo there. Now that chicane, the most difficult corner section here around Hungary, takes it beautifully, but she's got a little bit of traffic up ahead. I think that was a McLaren driver, wasn't it? It might have been Mo in P6. Although I do think that Mo is on a fast lap, so I wouldn't worry too much about that if I were Simo. She's 3 seconds down on Thrandir's time, so I don't think this will be a fast one. She's, well, basically 2 seconds slower than her previous lap, so 2 more minutes to go. I think this will be her final shot at a good lap here around Hungary. She's coming around the last corner, turn 14, and then she will drain all of the ERS and DRS. She's safe last lap. Down the straight she goes, heading into turn 1, hard braking zone into second or third gear. Having a good exit, you want to brake not too late, because otherwise you're not going to hit the curb there in turn 1. And you basically want to go onto the throttle as soon as possible. It doesn't matter where, it matters when. That is what I learned from GT7. Simo is up on her own time, 1/10 on Thrandir's time. And she's heading into turn 5, beautifully done there. And now there will be a little bit of traffic. She's closing in on the McLaren driver head. So I'm really wondering if Mo is going to back out and let her go through, because I don't think Mo will go for another fast lap in this lap. He has been overtaken. Well, he's almost going to get overtaken by Simo there. 8/10s down on Thrandir's time, but she is up on her own time. Let's see what Sumo can do here for the Ferrari team. She's the only Ferrari driver here, together with another SFR driver. I thought she was the only one, but I think that SFR driver is actually a reserve driver. So Simo is indeed alone by herself. She doesn't improve by too much. A couple of hundreds, I think. She's 1.4 seconds behind Thrandir there, and there's 1 more minute to go. A McLaren driver goes parallel with the track, and that must have been Mo. Here comes Alex Hawk for a fast one. What will the Visa Cash App Red Bull driver be doing? He only needs to gain a couple of hundreds to get into that top 5. He needs to beat Mr. Wiggles to be able to do that. Turn 3 takes a lot of curb, beautifully done there, and I think Mr. Wiggles just improved on his own time. Alex Hawk is actually improving on his own time as well. green sector for the Red Bull Cash App driver. And will Alex Hawk do what he did in Division 2 last season? Perform really well in the qualifying, and then a little bit more disappointing during the race. As things are looking like right now, we're going into the right direction for the Visa Cash App Red Bull driver. What a horrible name. Oh my days, it's such a long name. You know, Ferrari driver, Mercedes driver, you remember all of that, but you don't remember Visa Cash App Red Bull. Oh my days, those are 3-4 words, I don't know. Here comes Alex Hawk around the last corner, puts himself in P5. He does improve on Mr. Wiggles' time. Beautifully done by the Norwegian driver. Mr. Wiggles still on a fast lap, but I'm not sure if he's up on his own time. He was up on his own time in Sector 1. Pretty unsure in Sector 2. He does improve, but not enough. He's only 1/10 away from Alex Hawk there. Let's go on board with both the Haas drivers. And I think they have finished off their lap. We've got Brelly, whatever his name is, barely coming into the pits, and I think that will be the end of this qualifying session. Trendier putting himself on pole here in Hungary with barely, oh my days, Burley in P2, and then we have got the V car in P3. Beautifully done by the top three. Further, we've got Billy G, Alex Hawk, Mr. Wiggles, who's the Red Bull again? I think that must be Doran Mo, and the Kick Sauber driver. I'm trying to think about the names, because obviously we're gonna have the thingies there. I'm just gonna remove all these things in screen at the moment, so you guys are able to see the actual standing. So here we go. Qualifying is finished. Trender in P1, Burley in P2, and the V car in P3. Further, we've got Billy G, Alex Hawk, Mr. Wiggles, Doran, Mo, Halvor, Simo, and then the guys who did not put a qualifying lap on the board. That will be Sonic Hawk, Gox, Energy Dan, Magi, and Mindful Wasp. Also, Martin is in the session. I did not know that, but that means we have got 6 drivers reserving for SFR Division 3 here tonight. Hopefully the stream is still of good quality. I hope you guys are satisfied with it. And now I'm gonna switch over to the race. Here we go. So that will be the race information for you guys. Hopefully you're happy with that. Oh. Yes, all right. So I've got this lag going on, and I'm not 100% sure on how to fix it. But for some reason, I'm missing the first few seconds of the race start. So bear with me, guys. I think I got kicked out. Why are things lagging at the moment? Did I lose connection? Let me just double check, guys. Oh no, I didn't lose connection. Way! This has never happened to me before. Hey. All right, so as I said, I'm missing the first few seconds of the race for some reason. The race start. I will need to fix that, but you know, it is what it is. So Mr. Wiggles has just given us the go, so that means we will possibly be having my apologies, guys. I was talking to Dan here. Was it Dan? I don't know. Was it Keeps? I can't remember for sure. All right, here we go. Everyone is still in the pit lane. We've got a couple of different strategies here from the guys. A couple of guys on the mediums, a couple of guys on the hards. Are we going already? What are we waiting for? We're going already. Why isn't it going? Why am I still in the pit lane? I don't think it shows the actual race. Well, this is the first time having a formation lap on, guys, so I'm just trying to figure out on how to do this. One second, guys. Alrighty, here we go. Everyone putting themselves on the grid at the moment. Trendier starting in P1, but will he end up in P1 at the end of this race? That is a good question. 5 red lights here for the Hungarian Grand Prix in Speed Force Racing. Season 16, round 4. It's 5 red lights, and away we go. Trendier starting on the medium, so I'm possibly thinking that he's going to be having turn 1, well, no turn 1 incidents. As it seems like the Alpine driver, that is the V car, going around the outside, and the Haas drivers are having a collision there with each other. That is not great. The V car currently in P3, didn't gain a position off that, but I think that Burley definitely has wing damage there after that collision with his own teammate. Billy G up into P4, Mo up into P5, as it is going to be a very big battle for P5 at the moment. As far, Doran around the outside, and the Alpine driver is not patient. He's going around the outside of the Red Bull driver. Here comes Mr. Wiggles, not backing out though, but he backed out of it coming into turn 6 there. Doran is patiently waiting to make that overtake on Mo, but I think he should just wait, because he's on the hard tires anyway, so he's going to have the benefit of the doubt later during this race. There's already a big gap forming between the top 4 and the rest of the grid. Let's go to the back of the grid here, as there's a little bit of chaos going on. The Mercedes driver, and that is Mindful Wasp, already up into P12, as the Ferrari drivers are going a little bit wide. And that is Simo, no, Matt G, letting through his own teammate. No, it's not Matt G, it's Simo letting through his own teammate, her own teammate, and Mindful Wasp. And down the straight they go. And Gox dropping back to P14. Let's go back to the front of the pack, as it seems like Kick Sauber driver goes down the inside. Now Matt G is patiently waiting to make that overtake on OWR Alex Hawk. He was looking to make a move around the outside, but he backed out of it. And these medium tires of Matt G should be a little bit fresher and better and faster. Alex Hawk is standing strong at the moment. Let's have a quick look where he started. Alex Hawk started in P5, dropped down to P9, now to P10 potentially, as Matt G was looking to make a move down the inside there. Oh, having the outside line right now. Matt G not waiting. He wants to get back to Valor there in P8. Down the inside goes Matt G. I think he's getting pushed from behind. That is Mindful Wasp, of course. I think Mindful Wasp came in the top 3 of Division 2 last season, so he bumped back up to Division 1 or Division 2. Trendier with the fastest lap at the moment of 118.7. Not bad at all by the Haas driver, as he's taking a lead of about 1.5 seconds on his own teammate. What is happening here? The McLaren driver almost going into the back of Mr. Wiggles there. And now the Red Bull driver can benefit from that. That is Doran. But it doesn't. Had a bad exit coming out of turn 1. Let's go on board with the V car here, as he's trying to tail the Haas driver as much as possible. I think Burley got the how do you say that? how do you say? Oh, the task. I'll just say task. The task to keep up the V-car for as long as possible, because Burley is on those hard tires. The V-car is on the medium tires. So right now the V-car should have the same pace as the guy in P1. But of course, Burley is going to do something about that. He's going to keep up the V-car for as long as possible, possibly going to cause the V-car and Billy G to have well, not a collision with each other, but a battle with each other, of course. Into P9, we're seeing a little bit of chaos here. That is a Mad G. Also, Mindful Wasp trying to get past SFR Energy Dan there. Dan now down the inside. Beautiful defending line there from the McLaren driver. Mindful Wasp seems to be having some troubles trying to get past the McLaren driver, and Energy Dan also has a lot of straight line speed, as you can see, pulling away from the Mercedes driver. But now Mindful Wasp goes down the inside, not giving up, takes a lot of curb down the inside. Beautiful line from Mindful Wasp, and he makes the overtake, but Energy Dan not giving up, goes down the inside, but had a bad exit coming out of turn 1. So Mindful Wasp takes P11 here in Hungary. Let's go on board with the guys at the front of the pack. Billy G. Consistent race, I do have to say that. Started in P4, currently still in P4 SFR the V-car. I think he started in P3, didn't he? Yes, indeed he did. And with the amount of battles that's going on here, I think Mr. Wiggles will be able to get back. But the problem is that he's got Doran right behind him. And Doran is going to make things very difficult for Mr. Wiggles, because he doesn't want Mr. Wiggles to compete with his own teammate, which is, of course, Billy G. Let's go on board with the guys here at the back of the grid. It's a Mercedes driver, and that will be, let me just double check, Martin having a battle with a player at the moment. Martin with a good exit, trying to make a look down the inside, backed out of it again. A player who had an awkward line coming through turn 14. This will be a great opportunity for Martin. Down the straight he goes. And this is a very awkward line. Down the inside, deep lunge from Martin. And a beautiful move. No contact made with the Aston Martin driver. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you both attack and defend. Because obviously player left enough room for Martin to get past. Now Martin is going to make an overtake on Energy Dan here. Right on the tail of the McLaren driver. We might want to go back to the guys at the front of the pack. But this is just too exciting between those two. Very, very familiar faces here in Speed Force Racing. Both drivers being admins. I'm not 100% sure if Martin is an admin. You can call him something else like a helper, whatever you want to call it. But he made sure that he wasn't an admin. Well, he let me know. I'll say it like that. Energy Dan is letting through a couple of guys, so we might as well go back to that Alpine driver, the V-car here in P3. And Burley is doing a good job keeping these guys up. Already created a gap of about 1.8, 1.9 seconds at the moment. With still 30 more laps to go. Around the outside goes the V-car. Burley defending the inside line. Beautiful defensive line from that Haas driver. But look at that. The V-car around the outside. He made a switchback work. But Burley, whatever his name is, had a better exit coming out of turn 1. So he keeps P2 at the moment. But the more that these guys are going to be battling, the further Trindar will run away at the moment. If I'm pronouncing his name correct. Trandir. My apologies, guys. This is all very new for me. I haven't seen any of these guys in the top, I don't know, 10 maybe. Mr. Wiggles I did see. Billy G I did see. Doran I did see. Simo I haven't seen yet. And let me just double check on what the personal best time is of the V-car. 118.9. And the Haas driver's best time is 119.1. So actually, the V-car has more pace than the Haas driver at the moment. I think he's just gaining a little bit of time down the straight, which makes up for that little, for that little time difference. Let's have a quick look with Billy G here. 119.0. Not the best time either, but he's on the hard tires, of course, so he's going to be a little bit slower than the V-car. Let's have a quick look with what the V-car can do. He's not close enough, so this won't be an overtake worthy view. Let us just have a quick look with Doran here. Late lunge, but he backs out of it again. A little bit of a lockup there by the Red Bull driver. 119.5 is his best time compared to the top 4. That is about 4/10 slower. You might want to go on board with Mr. Wiggles here. He is even slower, and he's on a medium tire, so we might see him drop a little bit further down the road later when he switches on to the hard tires. I think that the suggested strategy here around Hungary is definitely a medium hard or a hard medium strategy. Let's go back to P9. Mo, trying to keep the Red Bull Visa Cash App driver behind him. But it seems a little bit of a challenge. Alex Hawk, yellow flags at the moment. Will this be a safety car? It doesn't look like it, but who crashed out? It is, who's crashing out? Doesn't look like anyone crashed out. Green flags again here in Hungary. Let me just, it's Mr. Wiggles. He dropped back to P13. As I found it very strange that both the Red Bull drivers were behind each other, so that's where I noticed. Oh, Mo with a bad line. Look at that. Almost goes into the back of the Red Bull Visa Cash App driver. Mindful Wasp. He's really pushing to the limits to make that overtake on Mo. And Mo was trying to defend, but I think he just missed his braking point here. Here comes Mr. Wiggles down the straight. Deep lunge. Backs out of it again. Trying to give Mo a little bit of a challenge. Mo with another snap. Has to watch out. Sooner or later, he's going to put himself in the wall if he doesn't control his car. Alex Hawk up into P8. Came from P5 though, so still not a great way to start your race here in Hungary. We're seeing some guys making an overtake. That is Sonic Hawk down the inside right before turn 4. Mo is losing positions rapidly, whatever you want to call it. I'm not English. Don't blame me. Billy G currently in P4. And I think both Haas drivers have caught up to each other, so Burnley will possibly be making the overtake on Trindar. Mainly because these medium tires are now dropping off, and the Haas tire, the hard tires will be a little bit faster, I think. Around turn 14 comes Billy G, and will he be able to make the overtake? Doesn't look like it. Martin with a corner cutting warning. Billy G does have the DRS, and I think SFR, the V car, is a little bit doomed, dropping out of the DRS off both the Haas drivers ahead of him. Oh, and it will be the V car. No, it won't be the V car. It will be Sonic Hawk coming into the pits. He's going to be the first one to switch onto the hard tires. Or will the medium tire guys go on to another set of mediums to finish on the soft tires if they think there's going to be a late safety car? That might be a good strategy. Billy G almost losing the car there. It seems like it's really slippery on that curb coming out of turn 4. Out of turn 5 as well. He had a little bit of a snap. Has to watch out also. The Alpine driver taking a lot of curb. They're really pushing the limits of their cars off the track here around Hungary. Mr. Wiggles with a second corner cut warning and a 3-second time penalty for Simo there. Usually that doesn't come up. Yeah, there we go. Let us go on board with the top 2. I don't think they will make a move on any. Oh, I think Trandir already got overtaken by his own teammate. And yes, indeed, he did. Look at the amount of time that Burley gets in that last sector. He already made a gap of about 1.2 seconds at the moment. And this is not great for Trandir. And the reason for that is, right now, being on the medium tires, he is going to be slow as hell. The V-car, Billy G are both going to do everything they can to get back to that Haas driver at the moment, but it seems like it's a little bit tough trying to get back to Trandir while battling with each other. 8/10s right now for the V-car, not bad at all. Let's have a quick look with P8 here. It's that Kick Sauber driver Halvor started in P9, currently in P8, so he's making a little bit of a comeback race work. Mindful Wasp is the guy in front of him, so Mindful Wasp being one of the faster guys here in this race. And we'll possibly get back to Simo as soon as possible. Or is that Mad G? That is indeed Mad G. Simo is currently in P12. I think she already came into the pits, didn't she? Let's go back to Billy G. Currently 1 or 2 tenths behind the V car. And he's having a pretty consistent race at the moment, Billy G. Didn't drop a single position, didn't gain one either, but that doesn't indicate that you're being slow here around Hungary. It's a very technical track. You need to keep your concentration throughout the whole track Sometimes around, for example, Belgium or Silverstone, you got a couple of long straights, but that's not the case here in Hungary. Only one DRS straight, and the rest of the corners, well, the rest of the track is basically corners, so you need to keep your concentration on track the whole time. Here comes Billy G on the hard tires. His tires are going to be faster as well than the V cars. Down the inside he goes right now, has a better line coming out of turn 3. Here comes Billy G side by side with the V car. Is he going to make the overtake? Yes, indeed he will be. The V car backs out of it again. Sonic Hawk with the fastest lap. Martin with the fastest lap right now, 118.3. And we've got another yellow flag. Is that going to be our first safety car? Doesn't look like it. Green flags again, and go, go, go. Yellow flags again, and that is Trandir. Trandir is off. Oh, no, it's not Trandir. It's Burley. He went off track a little bit there. Has another snap coming out of turn 10. This is not great for the Haas team. They were almost securing a P1 and a P2 here in this race, but right now with Burley crashing out or losing his car, they're not. They haven't secured a top 3 position, both of them yet. And also Doran is trying to find his way into the top 4, so I think Burley will have his hands full at the moment. Started in P2, dropped back to P4. And I think Maggi is coming into the pits, goes onto the hard tires, still 24 laps to go. And I do think that the hard tires will last that long here around Hungary. Cox trying to make the overtake, DRS wide open, doesn't go for it. Let's go on board with a Doran again. He's having a little bit of a, well, an overtake kind of race. He didn't really lose any positions. He gained 2 positions, so that means he must have made at least 2 overtakes during those first couple of laps. Loses the car, almost goes into the wall. Well, there was no wall anywhere near him, but if he lost the car a little bit more, he would have gone into the wall there. Simo with another corner cut warning. So far, Doran is losing the toe of Burley a little bit here. 1.5 seconds behind the Haas driver. Might want to go on board with the top 2 as Billy G has caught up to Trandir. And I'm going to be really surprised to not see Trandir coming to the pits anytime soon. It won't be for this lap because he already came past the pit lane there. Billy G looked to make an overtake, but he backed out of it again. Oh, here he goes. Oh, but he has a bad exit. That was gold if he would have made that work. Unfortunately, he didn't. A lot of curb there, awkward line from Trandir, having a little bit of a snap. And this is a really difficult track to make the overtake. You haven't seen many overtakes yet here in Sector 1 or Sector 2. Sector 3 is also a very difficult sector to make the overtake. Billy G with a good exit, but he won't make it work. Heading into turn 6 and 7, that is that chicane, of course. And the beautiful racing between these two continue. Beautiful shot as well. I think we should have more of those shots. Maggi with a second corner cut warning. Heading into Sector 3, what will Billy G be doing? Trandir, will he come into the pits? I think that Billy G will still have the DRS if Trandir comes into the pits. Trandir doesn't come into the pits. He will make it more difficult for Billy G to get past at the moment. Down the straight there goes. Billy G, does he have the DRS? It does look like it. Down the straight he goes. ERS wide open. He doesn't use any ERS, which surprises me a little bit. And he goes down the inside. Beautiful overtake there from Billy G. Trandir trying to make a switchback work, but it didn't work. And he got demoted to P2. Alvar seems to be in the pit lane at the moment. Goes onto the medium tires. Although that would be surprising, because there's 22 laps left on in this race. And it's very unlikely he's going to make something work. Simo. Green flags. I think there must have been an incident up ahead. What's that, Mo maybe? Doesn't look like it. It must have been one of the SFR drivers. There's not much moves happening at the moment here in SFR. Season 16, round 4 of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Heading into the chicane. Simo seems to be having troubles keeping up with the Alpine driver up ahead. I think that Sonic Hawk is going to look to make a move anytime soon. Simo also goes a little bit deep into that corner. Has to watch out because Sonic Hawk is one of the guys who's really hungry, trying to gain a position. Oh, Simo defends the inside line. Beautifully done by the Ferrari driver there, trying to prevent Sonic Hawk to get past, as she does indeed prevent him to get past. Sonic Hawk must have been frustrated by that. Oh, and Simo loses her breaking point. Let's through Sonic Hawk, and is Simo now coming into the pits? It does look like it. No, she's letting her own teammate go past. Drops back to P12. And that is not a great way to go, Simo. You need to keep the position. Defend with your life. Crash them out if you must. That's not the kind of things that I'm promoting here in SFR. My bad, lads. My bad. Mindful Wasp. He's doing it again. Coming from P15, currently in P5. I think, if I remember quite well, last season around Hungary as well, he went from last to first. But I don't think I remember it that well. I think it must have been a mistake in my mind, but it would be so coincidental if that would happen the same. He didn't start last, but you can basically call it last as he started in P15. There's 16 drivers in the grid. So let's see if he's going to make it work. You know, he's about 5 seconds behind the top 3. Quite a bit of time behind the top 2. As Strandir is coming into the pits right now, and that means there is a 3.8 second gap for Burley to try and make up. Mindful Wasp down the inside of Doran there. Yeah, Mindful Wasp, he's going to try and bring Doran a little bit closer to the other Haas driver. I think he's got it in his capacities to try and get back to that Haas driver. Mindful Wasp, I mean, he's not supposed to be here in this division, in this race. He's just reserving for a couple of guys who weren't there. He wanted to fill up the grid. And you can see what's happening when you put a Div 1 or a Div 2 driver in Division 3. It's just crazy. Well, I have no idea what's happening, guys. Ah, Jesus. All right. I lost my connection again. Fun. Great. Love it. Are we back? I think we are back. Sort of. Yeah, we are back. Perfect. Sonic Hawk now making the overtake on... I think that must have been... Why is this doing this? My apologies, lads. Alright, that's better. Oh, there's a big DRS train here, currently in Sector 3. Let's see who comes out on top of this little group. It might have been Trandir, because he's on the fast tires at the moment. Here he comes, started in P1, currently in P7, making the overtake down the straight. And I think there goes... Oh, the Mercedes driver down his side by side with... whatever his name is. Golf. I don't even know. Let's go on board with P4 here. Doran. And I don't think that Mr. Wiggles is bringing Doran to the top 2 at the moment. He lost a bit of time. Not sure if that is because of the battling going on here. Martin started in P16, currently in P8. Not bad at all, but he's got Mad G behind him. Mad G, hungry as hell. Heading into Sector 3 at the moment. Still 18 more laps to go, so we still got plenty of racing here in Speed Force Racing. But not much is happening at the moment. Turn 12. Not many moves. Have we seen anyone come into the pit? Maybe Mo, Mr. Wiggles. Alex Hawk might have come into the pits. Doran comes into the pits, goes into the medium tires, potentially. And is he going to make it on those medium tires? I couldn't tell you for sure. Coming into the pits on the medium tire. Oh, guys, come on. What is even happening? Did I lose my connection? All right. My apologies, guys. My apologies. Huh. Great. All right. This is as frustrating for me as it is for you guys. My apologies. I'm really frustrated at the moment. Test. Alright, we're back with it again. My sincere apologies. I'm furious. Alright. Sonic Hawk up into P3. P4. He's trying to chase the V-car at the moment. Mindful Wasp is looking to win this race at the moment. Currently in P2. Billy G coming into the pits. That is great news for the Haas drivers as Burley up into P7 at the moment. Another Mercedes driver coming into the pits. That must have been Martin. And let's have a quick look whether Burley is going to be ahead of the Red Bull driver. Billy G down the inside, and he is indeed ahead of Burley. So Billy G right now is looking at a race win. I think Alex Hawk left this session. S16 for the Visa Red Bull Cash App driver. Billy G up into P5. On the medium tires though, so I'm not... Yeah, I am 100% sure that he's going to make it. Oh, takes a weird line coming out of turn 7 there. Might have lost a bit of time to Mad G. And the V-Car is currently the only one holding up strong against the Division 1 and Division 2 drivers. Guys, my apologies. I'm so frustrated I can't even talk. It's just... I'm just thinking about what I can do. There's nothing I can do anymore. It's just too much. Energy Dan having a snap there coming out of turn 11. You might want to go back to that little group here. Burley caught up to the Red Bull driver. Billy G taking the defensive line there, trying to make the overtake on Mad G. And what can Burley do during this little battle ahead of him? Mad G is on the slower tire though. So I think he's going to have a lot of troubles keeping the Red Bull driver and Burley behind him. Into the chicane they go. Let's see who makes a mistake. Nobody makes a mistake. That's very uncommon to happen. Rare to happen. I'll say it like that. Sonic Hawk caught up to the V-Car. These two are still having a heated battle with each other. But the V-Car, Sonic Hawk, did I say the V-Car caught up to the V-Car? I think I did, didn't I? Oh, Billy G possibly making an overtake down the inside of Mad G. And he does indeed make the overtake. Now, what will Burley be doing? Heated here in turn 1, but Mad G lets them go through. And now the battle continues between Billy G and Burley. These two are possibly looking and battling for a race win at the moment, as Mindful Wasp still has to come to the pits. So does the V-Car, so does Sonic Hawk. And then, of course, we've got Billy G in P4. So 3 more drivers ahead of him having to come to the pits. And I'm wondering whether they're going to be on the soft tires. So with 10 more laps to go, well, 11 more laps to go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sonic Hawk has crashed. And he's going a little bit slower to let everyone go through. Good racing etiquette from the Indian driver here in P7 at the moment. Let us go on board with Burley. I'm really wondering what happened to Trandir, because he dropped back all the way to P9. At some point in this race, he was looking to a race win, and right now it doesn't look like it. Unfortunately, though, because I was definitely looking forward to a P1 and a P2 for Haas. And Mindful Wasp coming into the pits to go into the soft tires. Here comes Burley down the straight, making the overtake. Oh, and he misses his braking point. He misses his braking point, goes into the gravel. A little bit of a lawnmower slash dirt driver in the Haas driver at the moment. Mad G is catching up again because of this little battles ahead of him. Mindful Wasp, what is he gonna do? On these soft tires, he's definitely looking very fast. Sliding all over the place, but apparently that is a meta here in F1 24. Oh, please don't make a move down the inside in the chicane. I thought so. Sonic Hawk is definitely not going to give up, though, on those hard tires. Oh, Mindful Wasp with a little snap. Let's go on board with the Haas driver. Sneaking and closing in on Billy G. Coming into the last corner they go. The Red Bull driver, Billy G. We're at the last corner. 10 more laps to go here in Hungary. And it will be another overtaking opportunity for Burley. Billy G defending the inside line, but Burley has too much straight line speed. And he doesn't miss this his braking point this time around. Sonic Hawk coming into the pits again. Where did the V car end up in? Where's the V car? Where's the V car? Oh, he's still in P1. Never mind. He hasn't come into the pits yet. He is about 5 seconds ahead of Burley and Billy G. Oh, and Halvor gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, Martin backed out of it. He retired in the pit lanes, possibly. Billy G started in P4, currently in P3. He's having an amazing race. And as I said before, to be in the top 3, you don't necessarily need to make any overtakes. I mean, Billy G did. But he can also just wait on the guys ahead of him making a mistake. And that is exactly what happened here in Hungary. Trandir, who I'm not 100% sure what happened, but he did back down a little bit. Simo with another 3-second time penalty. That adds up to her total of 6. Mindful Wasp on the soft tires. Makes the overtake on Doran. Down the straight he goes. DRS wide open. A 117.5 for the English driver. And he's definitely looking to win this race with 9 more laps to go. And he's gaining a lot of time. Let me just double check what the striking distance is to the Ferrari driver. It doesn't show for some reason. Ah, there we go. Apparently his striking distance is going to be 0 laps. So that means he's going to make the overtake a next lap. That is a bit of bullshit from my graphics. Don't listen to that. Let's go back to Billy G. Still battling for that race win. It'll depend on whether Mindful Wasp will have an easy overtake on Matt G there. And the Vicar is just losing more and more time. He's losing more than a second a lap on these two. Mainly because he's running all tires. Mindful Wasp with another fastest lap of a 116.9 at the moment. He's definitely catching these guys, but how many seconds does he need to make the overtake? He's about 5 seconds behind at the moment. And there's 8 more laps to go, so that means he needs about 7/10 a lap on these two. DRS not calculated in. But if you compare Billy G's fastest lap being a 118.1 to the 116.9 of Mr. Mindful Wasp, you do see more than a second a lap. So I think Mindful Wasp will most definitely be able to catch these guys. But the question is, are those soft tires of Mindful Wasp still going to be able to perform at the end of the race compared to the medium tires of Billy G and Burley? And how difficult is the V-car going to make it for these two? Because it doesn't look like he's coming into the pits anytime soon. There's yellow flags up ahead, apparently. Green flags again. Oh, and a yellow flag. Something has happened here. Is that Energy Dan coming back out of the pit lane? I think that is indeed Energy Dan, as he retired from the session, unfortunately. Let's go on board with Sonic Hawk here on the tail of Trandir. Down the straight he goes. DRS wide open for the Williams driver. Will he be able to make that overtake? Yes, indeed he will be. And there goes Sonic Hawk making the overtake. Trandir making a really deep lunge around the outside, but he didn't succeed to defend the position. Let's go on board with Billy G. 610s at the moment. It's gonna be tough for Mindful Wasp to catch up, because he didn't really gain too much time last lap, about 5 to 6 tenths, and that is not going to be enough to catch these two. Soft tires are dropping off, and Magi is definitely going to do something about this raging Wasp behind him. Oh, and there's a little bit of a gap forming between Billy G and Burley. It doesn't look like Billy G has the DRS at the moment. Let's have a quick look at his rear wing. Doesn't look like it. Oh, and that will be very unfortunate for the Red Bull driver. So Burley is going to be able to shoot off in the horizon. Oh, Mo has got up to, I think that must be Simo. And these two are actually battling for a Division 3 position in this race, because I'm pretty sure that the positions of the guys who are reserving at the moment don't count. But I couldn't tell you for sure. But these two are definitely battling with each other at the moment. And Billy G has caught up again to a Burley. What will the McLaren driver be doing? Brakes a little bit later than Simo, almost goes into the back of her. So he had to go a little bit deeper into that corner. Let's go back to a Mindful Wasp, having the fastest lap, but can he also take this race win back home to the Mercedes team? Well, the Mercedes headquarters, as you might want to call it. VG dropping back to about 1.2 seconds behind Burley. 5 more laps to go. The guys just came across the line. That is the V-car, and I'm not sure what the V-car is thinking at the moment. I don't think he went for medium hards. Wait. Did the V-car already make his pit stop work? Oh, my apologies. I totally missed this. Here comes Mindful Wasp down the inside of Magi. Oh, Magi with the switchback. Side by side they go, but I think my Mindful Wasp had a little bit of a better line. Goes back up into P4. Now he can try and get closer to Billy G. Did the V-car already come into the pits? Oh, man, I really want to know. I really want to know. Let me just double check. 18 laps. He already came into the pits. The V-car is battling for a race win here. He's 3.2 seconds ahead of Burley. And I didn't see this coming. The V-car, I thought he was on these hard tires for 31 laps already. I totally missed that. The V-car. Is he going to take his... Well, is it the first race win here in SFR? I couldn't tell you for sure. I'm having a ping. 1 second. Let's go on board with Magi here. Down the straight they go. Mo in P11. Trying to catch up to Simo. Oh, it takes a little bit too much curb there coming out of turn 10. And I don't think it'll be enough for a Mindful Wasp get into the top 3. He's 3 seconds behind with still 3 more laps to go. 4 more laps. But the V-car, he's doing something I did not expect he would do. He wasn't looking that fast, I would say, but at the moment, I mean, he's battling for a race when he's not really battling either. He's like just cruising around, trying to make these hards work till the end of the race. Billy G is also losing the toe of Burley there, so I think the top 3 has already been secured. Or Mindful Wasp is going to do something about that, but I can't tell you for sure. Let me look at the standings real quick. The V-car actually won a race already, bar rain. He got a P3 around Saudi Arabia last week, and in Silverstone he got a P2. So the V-car is in P1 together with Burley, who has 2 race wins already. 1 in Saudi Arabia, 1 in Silverstone, and he had a P4 or a P5 maybe in Bahrain. Then we're looking at Doran in P3, Ellie in P4. She isn't here tonight. And then we've got Prep, who isn't here tonight either, in P5. Alex Hawk with a surprising P6. He's currently at the bottom of the grid in P14. Not racing. So, well, is he racing though? I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, he is racing again. Yeah, he is racing again. Earlier was ghosted, so I think he got kicked out like I did. Or the... I don't know how many amount of times that happened to me already, but... There is big gaps forming at the moment. 2.2 seconds between Mindful Wasp and Billy G. So this will be a battle for P4. I'm afraid 3 more laps to go. Oh, 2 more laps to go as the guys coming around the last corner. Heading into a lap 34 out of the 35. Down the straight they go, and a little bit of a move there from the Mercedes driver. Look at that. Mindful Wasp really swerving all over the place. I don't think that Matt G saw that coming. Mindful Wasp left a little bit of space down the inside, and Matt G wanted to go for it. And then Mindful Wasp went down the inside even more, and Matt G was there down the inside, so that could have ended up in a big crash. But it didn't. Luckily for these guys, Mindful Wasp just got overtaken by a hard tire runner. And that must mean that these soft tires are not optimal anymore. So he just needs to keep it close to the Ferrari driver, because he might be able to make the overtake with the use of DRS. And after that, I don't think Matt G will have any other opportunities to make the overtake, because we're also heading into the last lap of this race. Nobody else is within 1 second of each other. Maybe Sonic Hawk currently in P7. Here comes Mindful Wasp heading into turn 12. Needs to have a good exit to make a potential good line heading into turn 13. I was just talking crap. I don't know what I said. Final lap here in Hungary. Oh, and both the drivers are coming into the pits. They're going to retire from the session. Beautifully done by the both of them. Mindful Wasp retired from the session, so did Matt G, and they are going to keep things fair for the other guys who are still on track. They want to give the most amount of points to those drivers, as of course reserve drivers are not going to get any points. So beautiful gesture from both Mindful Wasp, Sonic Hawk, and Matt G. They've had some great battles with each other, but I do see Matt G telling Mindful Wasp to not do that again, because Division 1 and Division 2 race later this week on Tuesday and Wednesday. And here comes the V-Car in his last lap of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Burley got really close at the moment. Look at that. 1 second behind the V-Car. I think if Burley didn't battle that much with Billy G, he would have been able to get way closer. But the V-Car takes the race win, only needs to tackle one more corner, and that is turn 14. Onto the curb he goes. The V-Car wins the Hungarian Grand Prix, and Burley comes in second. Billy G coming across the line with a respective P3. And then we've got Dorn in P4. He's out of the session. What has happened here? He's 21 seconds behind. Not sure what happened with Dorn. Does he come back onto the... Wait. Is Trendir gonna get past him? Let's have a look. No, he's not gonna get past him. Doran. No, he is gonna get past him. Look at that. Is he out of fuel? Is Doran out of fuel? That must have been it. Gox in P6. Not bad at all. Mo in P7. And then we've got Simo. My apologies. Simo coming around turn 13 to finish off her race. Alex Hawk retired from the session apparently. Here comes Simo. Weaving all over the place for the Ferrari team. Takes a good P8. Came from a worse position. Came from P10. And then we have Halvor in P9. Mr. Wiggles in P10. And that will be the end of your Grand Prix. My apologies. I'm just gonna get the right graphics so you guys are able to see what is happening on screen. Oh, Alex Hawk lapped apparently. Ah, fair enough. Oh, yeah, we don't need to see this because it's gonna lag anyway. Here are the results of the race. Hungary. Well, it was a very interesting race, I do have to say that, with a lot of technical issues, with a lot of questionable overtakes. Like, well, not an overtake, but defending from Mindful Wasp there. But the V-Car has won the Hungary Grand Prix here in Speed Force Racing. Then we've got Burley in P2 and Billy G in P3. Further, we've got Trandir, Doran, Gox. Why is this lagging? Oh my... I'm getting fucking frustrated. All right. Mo in P7, Mr. Williams in P8, Simo in P9, and Halvor in P10. Then we've got our DNFs for tonight. Mindful Wasp does take the fastest lap home, and I didn't manage to get further. All right. Well, great. I love technology. And guys, I'm gonna finish off the live stream here because I'm frustrated, and I think I'm gonna punch my internet provider. I don't know. Whatever. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. My apologies for the technical issues. I'm gonna get that sorted pretty soon. I won't be commentating until the technical issues have been fixed, because, I mean, this is not enjoyable for you guys to watch. It's not enjoyable for me to commentate on, so my sincere apologies. Hopefully I didn't annoy you guys too much with it. And guys, thank you very much for listening. It's my first commentary video here in Season 16 for Speed Force Racing. Hopefully many more to come. But that will be up to the admins, of course. Guys, thank you very much. We'll see you guys potentially next week. Depends on whether the issues got sorted out. Bye-bye.